The new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer gave us our first good look at Hugh Jackman's return as the Wolverine. The trailer gave us some major hints on what specific Wolverine Jackman is playing, the leading role he'll have in Avengers Secret Wars, and the super secret Phase 6 movie that Wolverine could star in between Deadpool and Wolverine and Avengers Secret Wars. Welcome back, ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan. So while Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine is currently only confirmed for Deadpool and Wolverine, we've got all of our claws crossed that he'll be popping up in Avengers Secret Wars, perhaps even leading the film alongside Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, as some credible rumors have suggested. But we think that Phase 5's Deadpool and Wolverine is just the start for Hugh Jackman's bigger role in the multiverse saga. In the Secret Wars comics, we got offshoot stories that took place during the events of Secret Wars, and one of the most popular was Old Man Logan. Oh, and by the way, we have this great new LFG shirt up on our merch store right now, ScreenCrushMerch.com, as well as lots of other great Deadpool and Wolverine inspired merch, like the MCU Jesus, Bert and Ernie as Deadpool and Wolverine in the Void, Doug as Wolverine, and lots of other cool X-Men inspired merch. Shopping our merch store is the best way to support our channel so that we can keep making videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. All the links are below. So, Old Man Logan was this comic that featured a variant version of Wolverine in a distant future where supervillains run the world, and Wolverine lives in great guilt for the part that he played in making that happen.
What do you mean?
Well, he was put under an illusion by the Spider-Man villain Mysterio, making Wolverine think that all of his fellow X-Men were villains attacking the mansion. This resulted in Wolverine slaughtering the X-Men. After breaking from the illusion and realizing what he'd done, he tried to take his own life but was unsuccessful. This is mirroring the guilt we see this version of Wolverine seemingly living in following him failing to save his universe.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
And this Wolverine wanting to die was teased in the trailer when he pushed his head against Wolverine's gun. 2017's Logan did loosely adopt the Old Man Logan comic. We got an old, sick, and miserable Wolverine living in a desertscape setting. Most of the X-Men are dead, and he blames himself for his inability to save them. But what Logan was missing was bigger connections to the Marvel Universe, like a blind Hawkeye and Hillbilly Hulks.
Hillbilly Hulks?
Yep, it's weird. It's so great though. Anyways, the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine not only gave us Old Man Logan vibes with the grieving Wolverine, but there's also things like this giant man skeleton in the Void. In the Old Man Logan comics, there is a Hank Pym giant man skeleton just lying in the desert that is referred to as Pym Falls. Now, in this video, we talked about how the Void at the end of time could be the setting of Secret Wars and serve as Battle World. In the Secret Wars comics, there's a desert hellscape called Battle World that's a culmination of various realities morphed together, and this is where the Avengers are sent in both versions of Secret Wars. The 80s version of Secret Wars saw top heroes like the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four, as well as their respective villains, sent to Battle World by the Beyonder to battle. And in the 2015 Secret Wars, we got the multiversal version of Battle World, a culmination of the remaining pieces of the universes following incursions. Now, a dystopian wasteland put together with surviving pieces of dead universes sounds to me a lot like the MCU's Void. As we saw in Loki, the Void is a place where variants and artifacts from dead universes crash land after their reality is destroyed. And in Deadpool and Wolverine, we're seeing a desert-like area of the Void, and that's why we 100% think this will be the Battle World of the MCU. But before it serves as the battleground for the great multiversal war to ever take place, we think that it could be the setting of Marvel Studios' Old Man Logan. Yes! After all, what better place than the Void for villains to run amok, ungoverned and in control of various territories, similar to what we're seeing with Cassandra Nova and her Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Geez, person, have you seen the weather outside?
Yeah, man, it's looking pretty polluted out there.
Maybe we ought to get one of those, air purifiers.
Don't need one, because I have this Neoplant microbiome system that does the job of 30 regular houseplants to fight indoor air pollution. So this is a new kind of air purifying tech, powered by nature and supercharged by science.
Wow, wait, really? How does that work?
Well, Doug, believe it or not, indoor air is actually 5 times more polluted than the air outside because of harmful pollutants called VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. These VOCs are constantly emitted indoors from common household items like furniture, paint, cosmetics, and more. But this is the first plant system bioengineered to purify the air in your home. It was created by PhD scientists on a 5-year R&D mission to tackle indoor air pollution with an alternative, nature-based system. The NeoPX plant microbiome system tackles the 3 most harmful VOCs, namely benzene, toluene, and xylene. Now, like I said, it does the job of 30 regular houseplants to fight indoor air pollution. So here's how it works. You have these things called power drops. This is the bioengineered formula, right? You take it, put it in the beaker, stir it up, and then you pour these power drops onto the soil of the plant. And what this does is it supercharges its air purification capacity. Guys, power drops are a safe and powerful solution. They are good air purifying bacteria that will join the plant's microbiome and clean your indoor air. NeoPX also comes in this award-winning planter called the Shell, specifically designed to optimize air purification and ease plant care. But what I like most is how easy this is. I do not have a green thumb, but NeoPX is made up of marble queen pothos, a robust houseplant. It even comes with a watering system integrated into the planter. You just refill every 2 to 3 weeks and your plant waters itself. So guys, to get your NeoPX, click our link in the description. You'll not only help out our channel, but you'll get a 7th sachet of the power drops for free to get an extra month of pure air. Now, back to what I was saying. Now, up until this recent trailer, I thought that Deadpool would meet Wolverine in the Void, but now it would appear that they actually get sent to the Void together. Our theory is that following the death of Wolverine's universe, he was the lone survivor and brought in by the TVA. But when they attempted to prune him or use him for their own nefarious means, he escaped in the multiverse and has been on the run ever since. And the TVA agents have been unable to bring him in because, well, he's freaking Wolverine. And that's why they sent a fellow immortal mutant in Deadpool to bring him in.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
We also think that it's possible that Wolverine has been hiding in the mainline MCU, Universe 616. Remember in She-Hulk, we got this article about a man with metal claws getting into a bar fight, and maybe the TVA is adamant about bringing in Wolverine because his presence in the main MCU is threatening the stability of the sacred timeline that they are looking to restore. In What If Season 2, as well as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we learned about how the presence of a being from another universe can destabilize that reality, and it can cause an incursion, the collision of two universes.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
We also saw this in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, we've talked before about how we don't think that this specific team of TVA agents are good guys, and how we think that Mr. Paradox could still be serving He Who Remains, and that he is rebelling against Loki. In short, we think that they are going to be the bad guys of this movie.
What?
We think that we'll see the TVA use Deadpool to bring in Wolverine, but then banish both of them to the Void, and then continue their mission of restoring the sacred timeline and destroying branched universes like Deadpool's. Maybe they even offer Deadpool a place in the MCU, but when Deadpool realizes the plan to destroy his home universe, he rebels and gets sent to the Void too. And after Wolverine and Deadpool get into their huge fight, tempers will cool and the two of them will team up and embark on their mission to save Deadpool's universe, and maybe even try to resurrect Wolverine's universe as well. But we think come the end of the film, it will become clear that there is no bringing back Wolverine's universe, that it is gone for good. But they can still save Deadpool's universe. Deadpool will then ask Wolverine to come back with him to live in his universe, but Wolverine will decline. He'll have gone on his hero's journey throughout this movie and he'll rediscover his old self. He'll tell Deadpool that his universe is gone, but that his place is now in the Void. But now Deadpool still has a chance to be the hero that he's supposed to be and not to squander this second chance. Now keep in mind that when this movie opens, Deadpool is retired from being a superhero, but throughout the film we think that we'll see Deadpool and Wolverine pull each other back up to their greatest selves and become the heroes that they were meant to be. Deadpool will then return home to his universe and Wolverine will remain in the Void. Then, at the end of the untitled Avengers 5, we'll likely see our heroes sent to Battle World, aka the Void, where Wolverine will be there to help them navigate an Avengers Secret Wars. But in this Phase 6 lineup, we have 2 slots between Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. Now granted, these dates have been delayed, but still, their plan is to release 2 projects between these 2 Avengers films. What if one of those projects is an Old Man Logan film, following Wolverine's time in the Void after Deadpool and Wolverine? It would be a great side quest during this Secret Wars arc, just like it was in the comics, and this would be the perfect time to have some multiversal Elseworld storytelling before they wrap up the multiverse saga. An Old Man Logan movie set in the Void would be the perfect place to introduce a blind variant of Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, show Hugh Jackman's Wolverine get into a gruesome smackdown with the Hulk, and bring back villains like the Red Skull to tell stories that could only ever be told in an Elseworld setting. Show us Wolverine having made a life in the Void and found a family. Maybe it's in the Void where he and Jean Grey were finally able to be together. I mean, the dictated flow of time never allowed them to be together. X-Men 97's Wolverine said it best.
You're Jean Grey, he's Scott Summers. Those are the rules.
But in the Void, literally anything is possible. The Void is home to the rule breakers, and we think that's a place for Logan to finally find peace. And I feel like I kind of rushed over the Hulk and Wolverine fight. Listen, if we don't get to see Wolverine and the Hulk have a massive showdown before Hugh Jackman hangs up the claws for good, that is going to be one of the biggest missed opportunities. And speaking of, it's also in Old Man Logan where we see Wolverine save and watch over a baby Hulk. Maybe in this version it could be a baby frost giant who is destined to bring balance to the multiverse.
Oh, you're talking about Loki.
Yes, and maybe this original Loki variant was pruned by a rogue TVA agent like Mr. Paradox in order to bring back He Who Remains. Wolverine's mission could be to get this baby frost giant back to his proper timeline so the multiverse can be saved by Loki. I mean, think about how cool that would be. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine teaming up with a variant of Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, Chris Hemsworth's Thor, and even Mark Ruffalo's Hulk to save a baby frost giant Loki, and then return him to his timeline and watch over him from afar so he fulfills his destiny and Kang the Conqueror doesn't rise to power.
Let's fucking go.
And this would all perfectly set up Wolverine to take a leading role in a film like Avengers Secret Wars. And then, come the end of it all, he can remain in the Void with his newfound family and get the happy ending he deserves. And then, Marvel can introduce a new Wolverine in their new universe, which will be a semi-reboot of the MCU. Well guys, big shout out to the writer of this video, Colton Ogburn. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below or add us on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.